I'd like to discuss reciprocity today and the effects that it has on an individual's growth within the workplace, as well as the healthiness that it can bring forth in a group of individuals, such as a large network or cross-functional team. In Adam Grant's book, Give and Take, he discusses three types of personalities and how it relates with reciprocity styles. As can be seen here, he talks about givers, takers, and matchers. As the name implies, takers are individuals who focus more so on themselves and getting as much benefit out of their relationships as they can. While doing this, they try to limit the amount of times that they give because they're in it for themselves, right? So they're not as focused on helping other individuals. Givers, on the other hand, are individuals who go out of their way to help. They don't really think about it in terms of getting back what they put into it. They just genuinely want to help. These are the types of individuals that you're going to go to at any point in time if you need help, because you know that they're going to give back or answer any questions that you have, whether it be passing on their knowledge, their skill set, any words of wisdom. They'll help without you feeling the need that you have to feed it back to them. Matchers are kind of a mixture of the two. They try to match what they give versus what they take in a quid pro quo status. So oftentimes it's subconsciously, but they try to match the amount of times that they give versus take because they understand that to get good information, you have to be able to pay it forward as well. But they are more focused than givers are on making sure that the information that they get or the help that they receive from other individuals are going to help themselves and promote themselves and different types of roles. How these play into today's organizations are that much more so now than in previous decades, such as when your parents or grandparents were going through their career paths, today's marketplaces are full with service type jobs. Up to about 80% of individuals find themselves in a service type role, which is very reliant on networks and cross-functional teams. And what is happening, or what researchers are finding from these, are that the individuals that are standing out and becoming more the leaders in these roles are the givers. And this isn't necessarily what most individuals would think. You would think that someone who's going to be very focused and career driven, focus on themselves and updating themselves are going to be a little bit more apt to fall into these leadership type roles. So why aren't they? Why are we finding that givers are the ones that are accelerating their career growth or getting into the positions that they are? When we think about the networks and what they give that we didn't have in recent decades, it's ultimately just visibility. So they're able to portray or showcase different people's types of personalities. So what takers are often finding is that people are less and less willing to help them because they understand, or they're finding through friends of friends or through colleagues, that these types of individuals are just in it for themselves. They're not really willing to help others when they need them. They just want to receive the help and benefit so that they can promote themselves. Matchers are similar in theory. They're willing to give more help than takers are, but at the same time, they recognize that everything that they do is more visible to the organization, the network, everywhere. So they're making sure that they're also paying it forward as much as possible. So what ends up happening is that the givers are the ones receiving the most benefit because they're the ones that are benefiting or dishing out the most help. However, this can lead to a problem. When we talk about givers and you think about selfless giving, it can be really draining on an individual. So while givers are oftentimes being found at the top of the success ladder, they can also fall to the bottom if they're not careful. Researchers have found that givers that adopt an otherish mentality are the ones that are most likely to succeed. While selfless givers and otherish givers both, as a rule, help others more than they expect to be helped back, otherish givers adopt a slightly less selfish mentality. They recognize that to give incessantly is very counterproductive and very draining on an individual, on themselves. So what they do is they try to adopt a different mentality within their networks. They recognize that they can use this network to help other individuals when they physically don't have the time or capability to do so. So by wisely using this network and fostering it as an otherish type of giving network, they're able to use it more and more often. So we look at Heidi Rosine, who is a venture capitalist out in California. She's one who really took the idea of a network and ran with it. She understood that by actively focusing on building and maintaining a broad network of individuals that all had this giving mentality, She could reap the benefits of being a giver without necessarily having to do it all herself. She also saw the pitfalls of being a giver when she was early in her career and was much more selfless in giving. She just ran out of time. She didn't have enough time to return all the phone calls or return all the emails that she wanted to. It was something that was a passion in her to make sure that she got back to people, but she just found that she was spending all her time selflessly giving without focusing on herself as a career. So one thing that she did, and is a great role model to have, is that she took this idea of a network and leveraged it against each other. She made sure to bring individuals together through dinner parties at her house, through job opportunities or investment opportunities. She would pull one person in and another person in that she knew would be a good match for each other and would both benefit out of this new relationship. And she fostered it. She allowed them to help each other, and she was just the broker of the relationship. And by doing this over and over and over, she just created a vast network of individuals who all have that giving mentality, even if they might have inherently been a matcher or a taker. By being a part of a network like that, they find that they're giving more and more often without thinking about it, because if someone's to pay it forward to you, you feel like you should. You know, you can't get too many benefits out of any relationship without feeling the want to give back as well. So in today's society and today's workforces where networks are so important and so broad, we really need to make sure that we're adopting that otherish giving mentality so that we can help foster our own career growth, but also help benefit others. Thank you.